Hey everybody, John with Vynyly here. And for today's 5 on Friday, I was thinking the other day about songs that are also the title of the album that they're on. Title track songs that are title tracks. I think you know what I mean. So I figured, okay, I can probably make a list of, 10 or 15 of these pretty quickly. And I did. And then the list started to balloon. Next thing you know, it's 20, 25, 30, and there's a lot of them. So then I thought, okay, how am I going to pare this list down? Right? Because today's 5 on Friday is the top 5, my top 5 title tracks. How do I pare it down? Can it be a great album in general? Does the title track have to be the best track to make the list? Here's an example. Night Songs by Cinderella. Great album. Classic. Is Night Songs the best song on that album? For me, it's not. It might not even be in the top 3. It might be number 3 or 4 on that album. So I did not include Night Songs on my list. My final list, my top 5. It's not on my top 5. So I was trying to think through all this criteria of how do you define the best title tracks and which ones would they be? So that's today's 5 on Friday. My top 5 title tracks. I will be missing some that some of you will lose your mind over. Most likely you'll think, how could he leave this one off the list? But I'm going to limit it to 5. It's 5 on Friday. So let me know in the comments what your top 5 are. If you agree or disagree with my 5, there will be disagreements, I guarantee you, because there's just so many good title tracks to choose from. And before we get into this, if this kind of thing is something you enjoy, talking about music, vinyl albums, places where things have happened related to music, all of that stuff, that's what we do here. So this would be a great channel for you to subscribe to if you haven't subscribed already. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button and join the community, because this is not just me. There's a lot of people out there who give me feedback and comment on posts. So we're really kind of a big vinyl community here, right? Hashtag vinyl community. So no further delay. Here are my top 5, counting down, up, counting from 5 to 1. My top 5 album title tracks. Here we go. Okay, first up, let me give you 2 runners up. And I know I'm breaking my own rules here. 5 on Friday, right? 5. But there's so many great title tracks. It's really difficult. I could have done 10. I could have done 10 on Thursday or something, but I didn't. So I have 2 runners up. Runner up number 1, Bad Company. And I only include this one because the band is called Bad Company, and the album is called Bad Company, and the song is called Bad Company. So that's a trifecta. Very rare. Not too many bands have done that. If you can think of one, let me know in the comments. So Bad Company on Bad Company by Bad Company, that's one of them. My second runner-up is Master of Puppets, just because it's such a classic. I couldn't leave it off the list, although for me it doesn't quite crack into the top 5. It is an 8-minute, 36-second opus of heavy metal. It's fantastic. And the album is good too, of course. So those are my 2 runners-up. So let's get into the top 5. Number 5, Thriller by Michael Jackson. It is the top-selling album of all time. I actually sold another copy just this weekend. It's a fantastic album. I mean, you know the songs on Thriller, right? And it's a fantastic album. It's kind of a little bit sad that the song Thriller is kind of now relegated to just the Halloween time of year. But it's still a killer track. It was a monster hit. And the album itself is it's iconic at this point. Say what you want about Michael Jackson, I don't care. But the music of Thriller is iconic. Number 4. Number 4 is a song that, for me personally, it's not my favorite song on the album, although it is a great song. But for some people, it would be their top song on the album. And so number 4 is Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen, the boss. For me, my favorite song on that album is Thunder Road. But can you imagine? I mean, this album has Thunder Road, Born to Run, 10th Avenue Freeze Out, Jungle Land. It's just got hit after hit after hit. And here's the thing. Those songs are poetry put to music. Especially Born to Run and Thunder Road. To me, those are just poetry. So, I broke my rule a little bit by including Born to Run, since it's not my top track on the album, but on any given day, it could be. So, number 4, Born to Run. So, number 3 for me is a song that is not only iconic at this point, but it's one of those songs that when it comes on, everyone can sing the chorus. Not too complicated, and it's also one of the very few songs that had a movie released around it, based on it. And that song is Purple Rain by Prince. Again, Purple Rain is just an iconic song at this point. Rest in peace to Prince, gone way too soon. But he leaves a legacy behind of fantastic music. And the Purple Rain album is good overall. But the song itself is just one of those ones that everyone knows it instantly. As soon as you hear the beginning of that song, you know what it is. People can play air guitar to the guitar solos. What's especially cool is here on YouTube, you can find some concert footage that was shot. And some parts of that footage was used in the final mix of Purple Rain, but you can watch as Prince kind of figures out parts of the song live. It's really, really interesting. If you like that song, if you're a Prince fan, look up that video. If I can find the link, I'll drop it in the description. But to just watch him work that stuff out live in a live setting and hear parts of the song that you recognize because we all know the song so well, it's really, really cool experience. So, number 3, Purple Rain by Prince. So number 2 is a song by AC/DC. And AC/DC makes it difficult because a lot of their albums have title tracks. And it's really hard to decide which one I was going to put on my list. Definitely going to be one of them, right? So I could have chosen High Voltage. I could have chosen Back in Black. But I didn't. I picked Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap by AC/DC. And it's funny how you could choose. I mean, these are such great songs, and there's 2 different singers, right? I got Bon Scott, I've got Brian Johnson. But I chose Dirty Deeds. For me, it just edges out Back in Black. Love Back in Black. Love the whole album. Love all these albums by AC/DC, all the early ones anyway. But for me, Dirty Deeds just has that kind of gritty rock and roll AC/DC feel to it. I remember when I was a kid and I heard it for the first time, I was like, this sounds kind of evil and also kind of cool at the same time. So yeah, for me, number 2, Dirty Deeds. So before we get to number 1, I just want to mention again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you like this kind of content, join the community. I think the best thing about doing lists like this is the feedback that you get and the debate back and forth, what belongs, what doesn't belong, what your top 5 is. I'm looking forward to seeing the comments on this video. So, my number 1 album title track, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Supposedly written about Syd Barrett. Maybe he had some drug problems, maybe he had some mental issues, maybe a little bit of both. But he was the inspiration behind this song, and Pink Floyd had obviously some monster albums, but Dark Side of the Moon, not a title track. The Wall, not a title track, unless you count Another Brick in the Wall, which I do not count. But Wish You Were Here is another one of those songs. When you hear the very beginning of that song, you know exactly what it is, and you probably can sing along to it. So, for me, number 1 album title track of all time is Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. So that's it for another 5 on Friday. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you think my list is ridiculous, let me know. I'm looking at my notes right here, and man, there's just so many that are on this list that I did not talk about. There's just so many. So let me know what your top 5 is, and I hope you guys all have a great day.